What if I told you that a series of wars fought nearly 1,000 years ago still shapes the world we live in today? What if these battles weren't just about reclaiming holy lands? What if they ignited a chain reaction that transformed economies, reshaped cultures, and planted the seeds of the modern world? Today, we're diving into one of history's most debated and fascinating chapters, the Crusades. You've probably heard of them as religious wars, but their story is far more complex and stretches beyond the battlefield. Let's unravel the layers of this pivotal era and discover how its impact still shapes our world today. To understand the Crusades, we need to start with the basics. What were they? The Crusades were a series of military campaigns that lasted from the late 11th to the 13th centuries. They were launched primarily by European Christians to reclaim Jerusalem and other holy sites from Muslim control. These campaigns were driven by religious devotion, political ambition, and economic opportunity. The traditional narrative paints the Crusades as purely religious wars, Christianity versus Islam. While this interpretation isn't wrong, it's incomplete. The Crusades were also fueled by a complex web of motivations, including the desire for land, wealth, and even redemption. For the participants, they were a chance to serve both God and self-interest. But the Crusades weren't just about armies clashing on the battlefield. Their legacy extended into realms of culture, religion, and politics, shaping the course of history in ways that continue to resonate today. Beyond the bloodshed, the Crusades created a bridge for cultural exchange between East and West. One of the most profound legacies was the transfer of knowledge. European crusaders came into contact with the advanced sciences, medicine, and philosophy of the Islamic world. Ancient Greek texts, preserved and expanded upon by Muslim scholars, were reintroduced to Europe, sparking intellectual growth that eventually led to the Renaissance. Artistic styles and architectural techniques also traveled along these routes. Gothic architecture, for instance, was heavily influenced by Islamic designs and innovations encountered during the Crusades. Language and literature were similarly transformed. Arabic words, like algebra, alchemy, and zero, entered European languages, reflecting the profound impact of these encounters. New literary genres, inspired by Eastern traditions, began to emerge in Europe. The Crusades also reshaped trade routes. Merchants from Venice, Genoa, and other European cities established new connections with the East, bringing luxury goods like spices, silk, and glassware to European markets. These networks laid the foundation for a more interconnected global economy. The Crusades left an indelible mark on religious dynamics, both within Christianity and beyond. For the Christian Church, they were a double-edged sword. While the Crusades initially unified European Christians under a common cause, they also exposed deep divisions. Failures in the campaigns and internal corruption led to reform movements that would later culminate in events like the Protestant Reformation. In the Islamic world, the Crusades prompted theological and intellectual responses that helped shape Islamic thought. Leaders like Saladin became symbols of resistance and inspired narratives of unity and resilience within the Muslim community. Unfortunately, the Crusades also deepened religious prejudices. They reinforced a legacy of intolerance, not just between Christians and Muslims, but also toward Jews and other minority groups. This cycle of hostility left scars that can still be felt in interfaith relations today. The Crusades weren't just about religion, they were also deeply political. In Europe, they played a key role in the rise of nation-states. Monarchs used the Crusades to consolidate power, rallying their subjects under the banner of a shared mission. This centralization of authority set the stage for the formation of modern nations. Socially and economically, the Crusades brought significant changes. They opened up new opportunities for trade and commerce, which helped reshape medieval European society. Cities like Venice thrived as hubs of economic activity, while the feudal system began to weaken as wealth flowed into the hands of merchants and urban elites. On a broader scale, some historians argue that the Crusades laid the groundwork for European colonialism. By venturing into foreign lands and claiming them in the name of religion and empire, Europeans set a precedent for later imperial conquests. So, how should we think about the Crusades today? It's easy to view them through a simple lens of good versus evil, but history is rarely that black and white. The Crusades were shaped by a mix of faith, ambition, and necessity, and their legacy is a complex tapestry of cultural exchange, conflict, and transformation. Critical thinking is key. By re-examining the Crusades, we can gain a deeper understanding of how history shapes our present. The lessons of the Crusades about the dangers of religious intolerance, the power of cultural exchange, and the complexities of human ambition remain relevant in today's interconnected world. As we look to the future, let's use these lessons to foster dialogue, empathy, and a more nuanced view of our shared history. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the Crusades. What do you think is the most surprising legacy of this era? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into history, culture, and society. See you in the next video.